Hai,
Nombor
susah
6
ni
tak
saya
bincang
otak.
lagi, madam.
Nombor berapa?
Nombor 6 tak bincang lagi.
Remuneration dah.
Remuneration dah.
Ada dua lah benda ni. I tutup satu. Macam ada gaung-gaung. Why? There's only one. Isn't it? Someone is recording. Thank you. Okay, let's go into note number 6. Is that staff welfare? Kan? Alright. So, hold on. I need to share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Kan, madam.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright. So let's go continue with note number 6 because this is the last class untuk corporate tax, right? So we try to finish this today. Okay, we have to go. Banyak lagi weh. Okay, let's do it quickly. But you have done, right? Have you done the question? You should. Isn't it? Monday hari tu patutnya buat dah semua kan? Mana? Nurul Huda Najihah. Lambat lah. Okay, tak apa. I continue je terus. Okay, staff welfare comprise of medical and benefit. Okay, generally, when we talk about staff welfare, right, generally is allowable or is deductible, alright? Except, alright, number one is that when you have this what we call, ini apa benda pula ni? Salah. I tekan apa ni? Mana? I tak boleh nak buat, I tak boleh pakai marker Marker. Tak ada marker. Tak ada. Alright. Especially when we talk about leave passage. Alright. So generally the first one is no adjustment, staff medical and dental benefits. Alright. To the company that provides the staff medical and dental benefits, is deductible to the company. Alright. But when you did your tax one, you have this medical and dental benefits, remember? So whenever a staff receive this as a staff, it's a tax exempt. So you don't have to pay tax on the benefit given by the company on the medical and dental. But to the company, whatever given in the form of medical and dental benefits to the staff is deductible expense. However, for leave passage, alright, we have this clearly under section 39. So what is section 39? Is the prohibited expenses, alright? Section 39 clearly mentioned that leave passage is not deductible. So when it's not deductible, what do you do? Leave passage for directors, what would be your adjustment?
Add back.
Add back, alright? Clearly add back. Okay, take a note here, yeah? Leave passage, alright, generally memang section 39 clearly mentioned it's not deductible. However, katalah the leave passage for companies annual trip. Alright, so normally company dia akan buat exception macam now lah, this end of the year ni, banyak company akan buat family day or annual trip. So that kind of expenses is allowable. Alright, dia ada exception to the law kat situ. In your textbook pun ada mention about this leave passage that is given to staff and family members. Alright, so in this case, what is the given incurred by the company is deductible provided that the event is in Malaysia. So katalah dia kata buat kat Bali ke, buat dekat Singapore ke, right? Southern Thailand ke, no, that is not deductible. It has to be in Malaysia. So that is an exception. So leave passage ada dua, one is allowable, the other one is non-allowable. Is that clear? Right. Loan to employees written off. So another issue here is that memanglah welfarenya, one of the staff welfare, normally company provides loan to the employee. Alright, but remember that the business activity of the company is not giving out loans. Yeah, so giving loan to employees and then now become an expense because the loan was written off because the employee may not be able to pay back and then the company decide to write off the loan given to the employee. So now the loan, right, initially it was receivable lah. Alright, when you give out loan to your employees, initially it was an asset, alright, receivable. But now it's written off, then you have become an expense to the company. So because giving loan is not the objective of the company, so that's why it's always added back to the adjustment, right? So you have to add back loan to employees. And finally, we get to maintenance of childcare center. So maintenance of childcare center, there are the special mention in the section 34. So bila kata section 34, it means that it's a special deduction, right? Maintenance of childcare. So it says that it has to be revenue in nature, right? Maintenance of childcare center. So it means that maintenance, payment of the salary, all that thing is allowable, even though it has nothing to do with the company business, right? But it's mentioned in section 34. So first is that the option is that you give it as an allowable deduction, right? But any one of you that actually did it differently, is it a single deduction or you can claim double deduction?
Double.
Sorry, double deduction. Kat mana you jumpa double deduction? Right? So bila you ada macam ni, you ada the same expenses which are given as a single deduction under section 34, but it's also mentioned somewhere else that you can claim double deduction. So in the case of maintenance of childcare center ni, dia ada single deduction and you also have a double deduction. So kalau you tengok list of double deduction, you have this kind of expenses, ya. So bila you boleh claim single atau double, you akan go for double deduction. Kalau you go for single betul, tapi that is not the best one for you. So you always want to go for the double deduction. So for this case, maintenance of childcare center, the best option is always go for double deduction. Ya, mana ambil jawapan? Kat mana Factor kan? Alright. Maintenance for childcare is a double deduction. Tak nampak sangat. Sekejap. Insert. Okay, double deduction. Alright, the next one is, mana dia pergi? Okay. Is that clear? Note number 6. Alright, let's go to note number 7. Includes in this, okay, just tell me the answer lah. Alright, 120,000 premium paid to cyber insurance. Let's have Salwa Fahana. Boleh cakap tak ke sakit tekak lagi? Oh, Salwa tak boleh cakap Cakap boleh? Okay, kita go to Amira. Amira Zahira. What is your adjustment for this note number 7? Cepat Amira. Add back, madam. Kenapa you add back? Mana kenapa add back? Because it is revenue. Okay, I kena betulkan betul. Okay, kenapa dia revenue in nature? So you, okay, sekarang ni you kata benda expenses ni is revenue in nature. Alright. So what is freight and insurance means that the company paid a premium, alright, for insurance purpose lah. Alright, company ni untuk goods exported dia bayar freight and insurance. So generally, of course, this expense is a business expense lah. Yeah, it's a business expense, so definitely you can claim single deduction. Yeah, it's allowable expense. So bila dia allowable, it's a revenue. Kenapa you nak add back, Amira? Right, it's not supposed to be added back. Benda tu sepatutnya allowable expenses. So bila allowable expenses is just no adjustment. Right, no adjustment. So you put a nil lah. Nil. Yeah. But then, okay, you may want also to check whether can you claim a double deduction on this. Yeah. Previously, we do have this law that you can claim double deduction, but now the law is no longer applicable. So for 2022-2023 onwards, the expenses is a single deduction. So no adjustment for freight and insurance. Anyone who answered double deduction? Okay. Alright. Okay, kita akan ikut nama alphabetical order ya, yang ada dalam ni, bersedialah lepas ni. General admin expenses, alright. So we had the first one is the food shareholder attending the annual general meeting. So this is food, alright, is hospitality, but given to shareholders for attending AGM. So my question is that, alright, before you can decide whether this expense is deductible or not, you have to see whether the expense is revenue or capital in nature. Shareholders is always related to your capital. Kenapa capital? Because shareholder is the one who contributed to the company lah. They provide the capital to the company. So any expenditure incurred for the shareholders is regarded as capital in nature. So that's why for this answer, alright, the food for AGM is non-deductible. So you have to add back your AGM punya expenditure ya. Nasi biryani ke, food ke, whatever lah related to the AGM or shareholders is non-deductible. Annual subscription to trade association. So this one is a separate one. Alright, annual subscription means that every year you have to pay for the subscription to trade association of manufacturers. So the law allows this as a single deduction. It means that it's allowable expense because it's natural for a company to be part of an association, especially directly related to the company's objective lah. Yeah, for example, company ni is a manufacturer, so become a member of the trade association of manufacturers. So this expenditure is allowable. However, yang allowable is the annual subscription. Katalah first time you join the company, normally you have to pay the entrance fee. Entrance fee ni you bayar one time only. So dia jadi initial expenditure, so dia capital not allowable. But kalau annual tu dia jadi revenue. Regularly you have to pay, so that become allowable expense. Right? Okay. Fine for exceeding speed limit on the highway while sending goods to customers. So there are two bila kita fine ni generally kita kata it's not allowable lah because this is against the law, yeah. But there are cases where the taxpayer says that okay, for them to deliver on time, for example Foodpanda ke Grab ke, dia kata dia kena speed, kalau tak nanti dia orang kena bayar penalty lagi, penalty in the form of they are late, so they have to give vouchers to customer, whatever, so there is additional cost to them. Alright, so in this case, of course, generally kita akan ambil benda tu as non-deductible. Alright, tapi kalau company nak fight, dia akan katalah this is part of the business punya operation. Alright, but for this, I always take that a fine for exceeding speed limit as a non-deductible expense. Alright, fine, you add back. Compensation paid to add staff for loss of employment. So this one, payment for loss of employment, this one is a normal business expenditure lah. Alright, so in this case is deductible. But there's also another type of payment where it says that payment to add staff, dia panggil apa? Compensation payment, tapi to payment to stop the staff from joining other companies. Alright, so dia bayar banyak lah. Alright, maybe for 1 year or 3 years. Alright, so because maybe the staff is a key person in the company. So in order to avoid the staff from joining other competitors, so company akan pay them retrenchment benefit lah. So this amount will stop the staff from joining other companies. So there must be a contract for that. So in that kind of payment is a capital in nature. Right, but the normal payment for loss of employment ni, this one is allowable expenditure. Is that clear? Right, so again I'll double check. Compensation is nil ya. Alright, nampak tak bila I buat macam ni, nampak tak I punya jawapan ni? So bila tak ada note to the account, note tu ada kat belah sini. So nampak messy punya jawapan, you know. So bila you nak buat, you buat cantik-cantik sikit. Okay, nombor 6 tu kat sini. Nombor 7 tu mana ke? Nombor 7 tadi. Why is number 7 tadi? 7 tadi kat sini kan, freight charges. So letak on the left side so you can see it clearly lah. Hold on ya.
Madam.
Yes. Si orang bank telefon. So ambil
Madam nak
minum dia.
tanya,
Ya. Yes.
yang compensation tu included dalam unsatisfactory employee ke?
Itu pun tak apa. It's okay. Yang mana?
Okay.
Yang mana? Yang allowable ke non-allowable?
Compensation allowed.
Kalau normal is allowable. Yang tak boleh tu katalah dia ada mention macam to ayat dia macam mana ya, yang to stop the employee from joining other companies lah. That one is itu nama apa? That one is a capital in nature. Sekejap mana buku saya? Cari buku pun tak jumpa dah. Employment tu namanya apa expenditure. Anyone ada tak nama expenditure yang kita stop other companies from to stop employee to from joining other companies. Specific deduction, unsatisfactory employee boleh kan? Betul tak? 271, I don't know. I pakai buku lama ni. 271. Okay, 271. Sekejap ada check yang retrenchment payment. I punya dekat mana ni I punya 269. I think you punya page lain kot. Yang on retrenchment payment in 14, the company paid out retrenchment benefit to employee arising from liquidation. High Court such retrenchment payment is not deductible at the company. Okay, ini lain. Alright, ini sebab apa tahu? Dia macam ni. Kalau tax ni dia macam ni. Katalah you any payment made, alright, but the company still continue. Alright, the company still exists to generate more income. So the payment in this case the staff ni is allowable. Tapi retrenchment payment kita bayar because of liquidation. So company nak go bankrupt, so whatever they do is that they have to liquidate all the asset and the payment tu dia bayar pada employee dia. Alright, tapi in this case company dah bankrupt, closing down lah. Bila you close down, expenses that you pay is non-deductible. Nampak tak? So that's the difference dalam case retrenchment payment in 14 Dredging Limited, right? Company was going out of business. So bila out of business, so dia tak ada so the payment tu is not into production of income anymore, right? So that's why the expenses is non-deductible. But in the case of company, in this case, compensation is paid to add staff for loss of employment. Employee and loss of employment. Alright, company still going on. Alright, so the payment tu is still allowable. The other unsatisfactory employee, bila you mention, dia kata in the case of payment to get rid of a servant when it's not expedient to keep him in the office is deductible. Is that what you are referring to? I nak cari yang payment untuk bayar. Ni double deduction tadi kita ada dekat childcare center ada. Tak nampak pula payment untuk, nanti kalau I jumpa I cakap lah ya, payment yang kita stop employee from joining other company itulah. Okay. Any other question? Alright, shall we continue with professional charges? Alright, professional charges ni generally akan tengok benda tu business or non-business expenditure or trade or non-trade lah, ya. Legal fees on recovery of trade debts. Kalau nampak trade debts tu is allowable lah, ya, no adjustment. Legal fees for handling income tax appeal. So income tax appeal ni kita bayar, alright, the legal fees tu untuk not in the production of income. Income generated already. Income tax appeal ni katalah you remember yesterday that we say that we are not happy with the inland revenue rates assessment. So kita kata kita nak appeal. So all these expenses incurred not in the production of income. So that's why, alright, whenever you have other than compliance fee ni maknanya tax paid for a submission of income tax return. That one is allowable. Tapi sekarang ni kan secretarial dengan tax dia ada dua, campur dua, maximum 15,000. Alright, so you kena ingat benda tu. But other than that, alright, it's not allowed. Ya, income tax appeal ke, for tax advice ke, all these things is not allowable expenditure. Alright, existing trademark in this case is a renewal of existing trademark. Trademark memang capital in nature. Tapi bila you bayar fees untuk renewal, alright, bukan untuk trademark tu, untuk renewal of the trademark, so that one is allowable. Tapi kalau trademark ni is a new trademark, katalah fees for trademark, for example, so that one is first time, alright, the capital in nature, so that one is not allowed. Next one is a staff recruitment, paid to employment agency. This one is also allowable. Exception bila katalah this the first time company nak cari employee. Alright, first time, that one is not allowed. Tapi bila dah redundant, second time onwards, then become regular lah. Alright, so it's revenue in nature, is allowable. Business zakat, whenever you nampak zakat je, you kena add back. You add back, kenapa? This is not part of business expenditure, but business zakat is given as deduction after your aggregate income later. Ya, 2.5% of your aggregate income. So whenever you nampak zakat tu, you terus add back dululah. Right, add back 25,000. Mana punya? Mana business zakat? 45,000. Right? Nil. And the next one is you have your again, bila repair and maintenance, normally kita tengok revenue or capital in nature. Alright. The first thing is that extension of factory porch for MD, parking base. Alright. So bila ada extension for factory porch, clearly nampak benda tu is capital in nature lah. Bila capital in nature, you have to add back. So you add back 67,500. Right. Bila dia capital in nature, you kena fikir pula, boleh tak I claim, you add back dah benda ni sebab dia capital, but then you have to think, boleh tak I nak claim capital allowance? Boleh tak nak claim capital allowance? Factory porch, capital allowance, of course dia tak fall under plant machinery, right? You nak claim under industrial building allowance. Okay, is that allowable? Factory porch, I don't think so, right? That one is not part of the industrial building. So you add back, tapi later you tak boleh claim industrial building allowance, ya. I kena tengok jawapan. I rasa kalau jawapan dia clear pun salah lah jawapan dia. Right? Benda ni tak boleh. Nampak? Extension of factory porch is non-qualifying, so you tak boleh claim. The second one is that you have upgrade of factory IT system. Bila upgrading, again, is a capital expenditure. You have to add back. But boleh claim capital allowance tak? Boleh ke tak boleh? Boleh ke tak boleh? Alimuddin. Anyone? Can you claim capital allowance on IT system? Sudah. Boleh ke tak boleh? Mestilah boleh. Right? Mestilah boleh. Sebab ni IT system. So what's the rate? So you add back 31,500 and then you claim capital allowance at the bottom. Right? Mana? Factory system. Right? IT security system kan IT system rasanya. Right? The IT system is 20% and 20%. So this one kat mana ni? In arriving to your adjust, sorry, kat mana lah pula. Right? So once you have arrived your adjusted income, add back your balance sheet capital allowance tu. So capital allowance tu, kalau ada new asset, you can add on. Alright, further, then you do the computation lah. Yeah. Alright, so that one later you claim 20% each for your IT system. Director motor vehicle expenses for clearly sebut business purpose, so it's allowable lah. Resurface of factory car park pun, again, this one is capital in nature. You add back 36,000, but can you claim capital allowance or industrial building allowance? No, you cannot, because that one is non-qualifying expenditure. And of course, finally, depreciation, you have to add back your depreciation, 48,000. Then you have the entertainment for clients. Clients is 50% allowable. So 42, you add back 21,000. Betul tak? Aku kena check juga jawapan ni. Mana dia tadi? Entertainment, ABAT 21,000, 50% of that. Lunch provided to employees is allowable. Okay, sponsorship for local authority. Alright, in this case, sponsorship of a local cultural activity. So this one ada special deduction. I think that this one is under entertainment. Yeah, local culture sekarang ni dia bukan cultural activity, approved cultural activity sekarang ni the amount is allowed is 1 million. Right, tapi 1 million tu dia pecah plus. Kalau everything for local is okay, 1 million is allowed maximum. But kalau ada foreign up to 300,000 only, right? And then the balance, then whatever balance is for local lah. Alright, so you have to look into the punya amount lah. How much is the foreign, how much is the local. Foreign maximum is 300,000. That is the amount that you can claim lah for your local activity. Right? Sponsoring arts, right? Sekarang ni dah ada 1 million. Okay? A cost of souvenir at international trade fair in New Zealand to promote Malaysian product. So in this case, I believe nampak ayat dia to promote Malaysian product, I nampak I dah tahu dah. Bila ada international trade fair to promote Malaysian product, generally you akan dapat double deduction. Betul tak? Mana? Souvenir. Kenapa nil? Cost of souvenir at international trade fair in New Zealand to promote Malaysian product. I tak boleh claim double deduction ke? Anywhere we can claim double deduction. Macam ada bawah promotion of export. Boleh tak double deduction?
Boleh, madam.
Kan dekat promotion of export I think kan sekarang. Promotion of export, I rasa memang boleh lah double deduction. Tak nampak lah pula. Anyone on page mana ya?
P17 kalau buku 2022.
Page 1? Page apa?
P17.
Oh. Item nombor apa item?
Chapter
punya
17.
Okay.
Item 4.1.
Okay. These expenses will be publicity and advertising expense in any media outside Malaysia, participation in overseas approved trade fair, trade or industrial exhibition which include the provincial exhibits, participation, export market research or obtain export market information and service rendered for public work. Participation in overseas approved trade fair, itu ada double deduction. Yang ni cost of souvenirs at I rasa boleh lah double deduction dia. Okay. It should be double deduction minus 66.5. Okay. Alright. The next one is leasing. Okay, leasing ni memang tengok markah dia berapa leasing. I rasa markah dia selalunya 2 lah. Ya. Selalunya 1. So leasing 2. So bila leasing, number 1 is that you nak tengok a new car. So car is a passenger car. Cost dia 190,000. Alright, and then lease monthly rate of 2,900 since October 2017. So susah juga sekarang ni. You buat tahun bila lah? Assuming soalan ni tahun 2019 kenapa dia tak nak bergerak ni? Kenapa dia bergerak sendiri? Oh, sudah. Pasal macam tu. Alright, June 2019. So assuming that this June 2019, bila dia punya leasing tu, dia start bila? Leasing start October 2017. So October 2000, so isu ni apa? Satu is car. Cost dia 190,000. Bila leasing of passenger car, how much can you claim? Depends on the cost. So in this case, cost is more than 150,000. Maknanya you boleh claim how much? Boleh claim 50,000 only. Right, total leasing tu, daripada start you lease tu, right, you boleh claim 50,000 only. So kena tengoklah pada October 2017 sampai 30th June 2018. Berapa bulan? Berapa bulan tu? Right, you kena tengok macam ni lah. Alright, daripada Oktober Oktober 2017 17 until 30th June 2018 30th June 2018 berapa bulan? 9, right? And then you have year end 30th June 6 2019. So this is 12 months, right? So sebulan bayar berapa? Monthly is 2,900. So monthly is 2,900. So first year you dah claim berapa? Darabkan dengan this one, 26,000. So in 2019 you claim another 2,900. So you bayar berapa? Alright. So total dah bayar for 2018, 2019 berapa? Mana total? Okay, total kat situ. You dah bayar 60,900. How much is allowable? You only allow 50,000. So berapa you kena add back? Ambil the difference lah. Means that, in other words, is saying that, alright, you dah claim kat sini. Alright, whatever expenditure you paid for the lease rentals dah 60,900. In the first year, everything is allowable because it is below 50,000. But when it comes to 2019, alright, you dah bayar 34,800. So total payment dah bayar 16,900. Means that daripada 34,800 ni, part of it is not allowed, part of it is allowable. How much is not allowed? 10,900 because that is the above what? Above the 50,000. So the 10,900 is added back lah. So that's how you dapat add back 10,900. Faham tak ni? So you kena start daripada start day first month yang you bayar you punya leasing kira sampai end of the year. I mean that in this case 30th of June. Alright, come to second one is that you have to 30th June juga. So you dapat berapa bulan you bayar for that month and berapa how much actually you pay. Then compare lah. Alright. But assuming that if the cost is more than it's less than 150,000, so no adjustment because you can claim up to 100,000. Clear tak? Leasing? Right?
Yeah.
Alright, donation. A company donated sports equipment, sport equipment to an approved to an orphanage, approved institution. In addition, each orphan received a cash donation of 50. Total cash donation was 6,000. So in this case, it's an approved institute. Alright, cumanya you ada dua payment. Satu payment is for the sports equipment, 2,000. The other one is to pay to the each orphan 50 ringgit each. Right, and total cash contribution is 6,000. First thing is that you kena add back everything. 2,000 plus 6,000, you kena add back 8,000. Right, you have to add back cash donation dengan mana? 2,000. Right, sports equipment 2,000, cash donation 6,000, you have to add back. But then whether you can claim at the bottom, you kena check further lah. Alright, untuk you for approved institution ni, boleh tak you claim, boleh tak you nak claim equipment dengan cash tu? Kalau you tengok on page, I do not know item, I punya buku 9.3.10, summary of donation. You boleh tengok tak kat situ? In chapter 4. Right? Kalau tu for company, cash donation to approved institute or organisation is allowable. Tapi boleh tak I nak claim cash contribution? Boleh. Cash contribution or in kind for project boleh. Maknanya kalau approved institution, boleh tak kita bagi in kind? In this case the sport equipment tu kita panggil in kind lah. Okay, kalau macam ni cash or medical equipment boleh, painting tak cash contribution. Alright. So in this case, even though you have to add back, tapi boleh tak you claim, alright, dua item kat sini. One is the cash, another one is the sport equipment. First you have to add back dua-dua. Second one, then you have to see boleh claim ke tidak. Alright, tambah. Donation to children, not the institution. Alright, ni ada dua kan? Nampak tak? Dua benda ni. Right. You kena add back because whenever there's a donation yang under section 44, you kena add back dulu. Okay, you add back dulu. Tapi boleh claim ke tak? Alright, the first one is that sport equipment, you tak boleh claim. Kenapa you tak boleh claim? Because for you to claim, it has to be cash donation. Right, so sport equipment, walaupun you is approved institute, you tak boleh claim. Alright, you tak boleh claim benda tu. Number 2, cash donation. You boleh claim kalau you bagi cash tu pada the institution. But in this case, you bagi pada budak-budak. Right, you bagi pada orphan tu, so that one you tak boleh claim. So, kat bawah ni you nampak dia punya adjustment dia. Mana dia tadi? Right, donation to children not institution, you tak boleh claim. And then another one is that the donation sport equipment pun is not allowable. So what is then from here, alright, you should know that, alright, untuk company bila dia nak donation, alright, the best way of company to donate to approve, for example kita kan, URA, for example bila you nak go for sponsorship especially, alright, you nak minta company to sponsor your event, alright, company normally akan bagi cash. Sebab kalau dia bagi event dalam bentuk in-kind, for example dia bagi barang ke apa-apa, dia tak boleh claim. Kalau claim, dia kena claim bawah entertainment. Alright, promotion, advertisement. So maknanya dia bagi t-shirt, okay, kena ada logo company, so dia boleh claim bawah entertainment. So that one is allowable. Dia tak boleh cakap, oh this one is a donation. Lepas tu letak t-shirt. Alright, tak boleh. So in that case, kena careful lah because company pun must be aware lah what kind of donation yang dia nak bagi. Kalau nak bagi dalam bentuk cash, kena to an approved institution lah, yeah, and it has to be in cash. Kalau nak bagi sport equipment, boleh bagi sport equipment tapi kena ada logo company dekat sport equipment tu, alright, and then jadi jatuh dalam entertainment lah. Entertainment is allowable. So benda ni memang tricky, alright, but as a tax agent, we have to advise our client lah what is the best way of doing things. In this case 8,000, katalah you need 8,000 only, what if it's 8 million, right? You spend 8 million tapi you tak boleh claim both item. Untuk bagi pada donation pada orphanage tu memanglah kita nak bagi pada orphans, tapi the law ni kena bagi pada institution. So what you can do is you can have to arrange the cash to the institution and then you have to make sure that the cash is distributed to the orphans. Right, so you tak boleh bagi direct pada orphans tu, you have to give to the institution. Right, okay, the next one is miscellaneous expenses, stamp duty, of course in share capital is not allowed, capital in nature. Alright, bila forex, ada tunjuk ke forex? Ada tunjuk belum forex? Macam mana nak buat forex? Ini I kena tulis lah. I tak ada benda pula nak tulis sekarang ni. Ya. Bila forex, alright, number one is that you kena tengok benda tu realized or unrealized. Ya. Bila you tengok kat sini, unrealized, bila nampak unrealized dia memang benda tu is not allowed. Ya. Kalau not allowed, okay, unrealized is not allowed. Kalau loss, not allowed, you have to add back. Kalau gain, you minus lah. Right. So foreign exchange gain on export, you have to minus 22,000. Sebab dia unrealized. Tapi kalau exchange gain loss, alright, unrealized, then you have to add back lah. Alright, so that's the rule. The second one is also unrealized. In this case, again, is a loss. Alright, nampak? Unrealized loss. So bila dia loss, unrealized add back, so you add back 47,000. So the first one, you minus 22,000. Second one, you add back 47,000. From here, you have adjusted income. So careful. Bila make sure that you have the term right, adjusted income, amount kat sini is okay. Tak ada melangkah pun untuk amount tu. Right? Jarang pun. It's very rare that student can get full mark for the right. Alright, even tadi pun kita buat adjustment kan. Something is not allowed tadi kan. Mana ke tadi kita buat adjustment. It's okay, right? But you will need a number lah because for you to compute, right? So don't worry, dapat betul ke tak, it's okay. Just do the computation. Then add back all the format, balancing charge, CA brought forward, CA for the current year. Mana you tengok benda ni, additional information, CA brought forward is given here. Kalau salah lagi tak tahulah kenapa, right? CA brought forward of 13,000. So just plug in the information. And then for the current year, excluding new asset. Bila new asset tadi you kena kira balik lah. Right? So you're given the current year 215,000, so plug in lah 215,000. Right, and the new asset, alright, you ada factory Porsche tu tak boleh claim. IT system boleh claim 20%, 20%. Resurface of the factory car park tak boleh claim. So you only satu sebenarnya, right? Upgrading of factory system. From there, you come to your statutory income, and statutory income minus loss brought forward. This amount is also given here. Right? Loss brought forward is 35,550. So you add in the figure 35,550. Right? And then interest. Kenapa interest exempted kat sini? Mana tengok interest mana? Mana balik? Interest. Interest from excess fund, because this one is the overseas bank, right? Overseas bank pun sekarang ni pun memang exempted lah, right? So even though credited and remitted, is exempted lah. The second one is dividend. Alright, dividend, remember, in Malaysia, this one interim final ni is a final. Okay, I tulis kat sini final lah. Final. But the overseas is exempted, but rental income, kenapa exempted? Rental, mana is rental? Rental is, okay, in Australia. Again, it's a foreign source income, 30,000 remitted. This one is also exempted. So rental income is exempted, foreign source. Come to your aggregate income minus donation, and then you have a business zakat. Remember how much is your business zakat? 45,000, remember? Mana zakat tadi? You add back 45,000 zakat, but amount which is allowable is 2.5% of your aggregate income. So you kena kira lah 2.5%, yang ni you darab 0.25, you akan dapat below 45,000. So you can only claim 6,596 as a business zakat deduction. From there you have a total income. I'm not sure, question asked for what? Is it tax liability or chargeable income? Compute the tax payable by factor, right? So for 2019 lah. Company is 3.4 million. SME apa maksud dia? Definition of SME. Tax rate. What is the rate for SME? Kenapa buat 70% tu? This one in chapter 1. Ada tak chapter 1? Tax rate. Tak ada pula tax rate chapter 1 ni. Tax rate dekat mana tu? Tak ada pula tax rate. Chapter 4 ada tak? Chapter 4. Okay, tax rate dekat chapter 4. For company, 24%. If less than 2.5 million. Company 3.4 million capital. Right, I'm not sure. Can you check in your apa nama dia? Chapter 4, item 11.1.4. Is it the same?
Now, SME 11.1.5.
Okay. Alright, berapa dia punya rate? Berapa dia punya capital?
Chargeable income for 600,000, 17%.
Sabar. Dia, for you to be under SME tu, you punya, what is your paid up capital? Company with paid up capital berapa jadi SME?
Less than 2.5.
Okay, 2.5 kan? Sekarang sini company ni, is it SME or not? Factor Sdn Bhd ni. Kalau dia kata 2.5 paid up capital, so company factor Sdn Bhd ni 3.4 million, dia bukan SME. So
kalau less than 50 million gross business income.
50 million? Mana tahu 50 million sayang?
Gross business income less than 50 million.
Sekejap, mana? I tak nampak benda tu. Kalau you punya, that's why lah, the first thing you kena tengok you punya paid up capital berapa. Kalau you punya paid up capital 2.5 million and below, baru you boleh fall into that category. Tengok chargeable income dia berapa. Faham tak? Faham tak?
Faham.
So maknanya sekarang ni company tu bukan SME, dia 3.4 million. So dia normal business je. Normal business so maknanya at 24% tax rate lah. So tak adalah buat benda ni. Right? %24. So I akan buat benda ni je lah. I tak faham kenapa sudah ramai buat benda ni. Sebab company is 2.4. Right? Share. Tulis kat sini. $3.4 million. So because of that, dia tak boleh pakai dia punya rate yang chargeable income less than 500,000 at 18% and the balance at 24%. Tak boleh. Faham? Right? You kena pakai 24% dia terus. Sebab dia punya share capital is more than 2.5 million. Faham? Alright. Okay, so from there, alright, you nampak tak? Ni tinggal 57 ni kenapa? Alright, as over 60 darab dengan 30 marks. Dia tak ada 60 ni, dia mesti more than that. Alright? Okay, so this one is the way kita compute hari tu. Lagi apa lagi? Habislah soalan ni. Okay, question? Boleh tak? Okay. So kalau you tengok kita discuss satu soalan je. You dah buat soalan nombor 2, nombor 3 semua dah buat dah? Dah buat belum? Okay. Alright, green life, kalau you buat soalan green life, I pun tak tahu this one. Again, tengok green life. Kenapa buat tax liability at 70% tu? Okay, tengok green life. Green life 2.3. Okay, 2.3 million boleh lah you nak compute dia punya tax liability on the first 500,000. Yang ni betul, right? Sebab dia punya share capital is 2.3 million. Soalan nombor 1 bukan, ya. So this one betul. Chargeable income, I do not know whether this right or wrong, but you boleh take it as a reference, 1456. Question number 3, nama company apa? Purify Sdn Bhd. Purify, dia suruh tax chargeable income. Kalau dia suruh kira chargeable income, dia kira chargeable income lah. Tak payahlah kira tax payable. Right? So purify. Mana soalan purify? Right? Statutory income. Sekejap. Manalah pula? Apa yang buat ni? Macam tak betul ni. Alright, chargeable income 1.78, control B. Tapi tak apa, you don't have to get the right answer, but you should have all that items lah. Okay, dalam ni ada macam group relief ni kat mana? Ni note macam ni kan buat cantik je kan? Note number 1, number 2, number 3. Alright, and you don't have to put all the items kat, bukanlah you tak payah put that in full lah. Bank charges semua ni boleh shorten lah, nak tunjukkan what it is lah. Tak payah nak salin everything, it takes time. Ya. Okay. Alright. What is question number 4? Ada question number 4 ke? Oh tak ada 3 je Alright. This macam kena kira capital allowance ni. Ya. For factory building, office building, furniture in office building and machinery. Office building note number 1. Office building. Office building boleh ke claim? Mana boleh claim? several office space. Company provide extensive ni section 4A lah. Tapi tak boleh claim capital allowance. Betul tak? Capital allowance, factory building, office building tak ada Factory building. Mana kita ada nampak factory building? Factory building boleh, office building tak boleh. You tak boleh claim industrial building allowance on office building. It's a non-qualifying expenditure. Right? Okay. Any other question? So definitely in your final exam ada satu question on this corporate tax similar to this lah. Yeah. So these are the only 3 tutorial questions here, but you can always look for other questions lah, past year questions ke, you tengok daripada online pun banyak lah soalan corporate tax ni ya. Cuba mana yang boleh, do a lot of exercises, then you can you should be able to know lah the adjustment for each one lah. Right, the more you do, the more expenses that you are exposed to, then you should be able to know lah what kind of adjustment. Yeah. Okay. Any question? Tak ada soalan? Kalau tak ada soalan, kita dah tamatlah corporate tax. So corporate tax ni careful ya, you ada satu lagi chapter company taxation. Kat mana company taxation company taxation, I do not know. Here is chapter 26. Is it the same? Company taxation, tengok betul-betul that chapter because that one give you a revision, right, on the what is in arriving to adjusted income, everything lah, yeah. So please look into that, and we have a lot of example in that chapter that you should be able to do it lah. Dia ada explain jugalah for the adjustment, right? Ada tak lagi? Tak ada? If tak ada, I nak end the class lah. Okay. So if there is no